the Gluten-Free Newbie. This is where we experiment, we try new things, and most of all, we just try to cook gluten-free to keep those we love safe. So today I am going to share with you my flour blend recipe. It's not my original recipe. It's something that my sister shared with me, that her mother-in-law shared with her, and yeah, so this is gonna be super fun. But as you can see here, I've got 2 containers and they have the same thing in them. Just these are all the grains that are going to be blended in this grinder and be made into flour. So I wanted to go over what all is included in here. So as you can see from my intro, there's several different ingredients, and there is a science behind how much of which and all that stuff. So first we have our major ingredient, and those are the oats. The oats are the foundation, and then next up we have rice. In this mix is already blended rice, already ground rice, just because I was grinding flour earlier, so when I had extra rice flour. But you could also just put normal brown rice here. It'd be a little bit less because the flour tends to measure out as being more after it's been ground, which is kind of funny, but there you go. And then after that, we have our quinoa. And quinoa, it tends to have a bit of a sour flavor. If you have a hand grinder, it probably wouldn't be a big problem to go ahead and rinse it off, dry it out, and then grind it to get that sour taste out. But it also works just fine, just the way it is right out of the bag. And then after the quinoa, we have this lovely little mix, which has mung beans and lentils and amaranth and whole millet. So I'd never heard of mung beans before or amaranth, but here it is. So, and this flour is really good. It's basically like a whole wheat flour. It's not, I wouldn't call it your all-purpose flour, but it's great for whole wheat recipes, and I like to even mix like a all-purpose equivalent of gluten-free flour with this flour, because this can have a bit of an earthy taste. And then when you put like the gluten-free all-purpose flour with it, then you get a good mix of both. You feel healthy, but you also aren't feeling like you're eating healthy, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I'm not gonna grind it right now because that's gonna be super loud and obnoxious, but I would normally just plug in the grinder and go ahead and grind it out, and then it will end up looking like this. Got our nice flour. Feels like flour. It's a little bit more grainy than flour, but overall, got your white powder that you bake stuff with. So that is how I make my flour. And I've made a couple things with it so far. I made some focaccia bread, rosemary focaccia bread, that turned out really well. And that was also one that I mixed the gluten-free all-purpose with this whole wheat equivalent. And I also made some crumb cake, and that was really cool because you think crumb cake, well, crumbs, gluten, but no, you can use this flour, and I also combined it with the all-purpose equivalent. And actually, no, I didn't. I think it was just this flour, and it turned out great, even as a dessert. And the earthy taste was hidden by the delicious sugar and other things. So overall, this is a great recipe. I buy all of my interesting ingredients at Winco, and actually all of my ingredients at Winco. You can get stuff for bulk there really cheap, and it's just, I mean, if you're making flour all the time, it's good to have all of your ingredients in big quantities. So go ahead, try it out. I would say it's probably about 2/3 oats, and then the top third is the rice, the quinoa, and the fun ingredients. So yeah, go ahead and try it out. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear. And thanks so much for watching The Gluten-Free Newbie. Thanks. This is Bethany signing off.
I hope the light isn't a problem. I realized that it was just